is up, Dallas Cowboys Nation? It's your old friend IndyCarTim with the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz live, and I do mean daily, as we come at you each and every morning. For now, 7 a.m. Central. Give you plenty of time to tune in on your way to work, on your way to lunch, after, on your workout. I don't know, walking the dog in the morning, making your morning whiskey run. I don't know, whatever you're doing. I don't know what you guys do. But it is New Year's Eve. You guys got big plans for New Year's Eve? I'll probably be home with the boys with our annual tradition of watching, yes, Legally Blonde, as I've done probably every single year, if not right on New Year's. If I go out New Year's Eve, then we do it earlier in the day. Since, like, I don't know, 2005? Yeah, it's weird, I know. I don't even like Reese Witherspoon. But, man, I will stop down and watch freaking Legally Blonde on you. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't even like Reese Witherspoon, but I think it's a funny movie, and the boys watch it. My kids are older teenagers now, but they've been watching it since they were little. It's just a dumb tradition we have now. What are some of your traditions? Let me know in the comments section that you guys do on New Year's Eve. If it involves the kids, if it involves definitely not the kids, whatever it is that you guys do, I'd love to hear from you. Touchy subject today on the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz. I'm not going to lie. It is something I am very anti, and I've said that recently in the past, I don't know, week. And, you know, after the feel-good win on Christmas, and yes, we'll get to the dad joke of the day here shortly, thanks to Jamie in Dallas. But after the feel-good win on Christmas, I am going to say something that will make half of y'all throw your phone or punch your monitor, wherever you're watching this morning. And it's not something I condone. So this is kind of sketchy territory here. All right. Before we get to that, and we have an update on the Brian Flores situation from yesterday's episode, too, that we're going to get to. But before we get to all of that, boys and girls, it is time for the dad joke of the morning, brought to you by ZipRecruiter. More on them later. But the dad joke of the morning comes to us from Jamie in Dallas. Yep, Jamie in Dallas, who left her address, and so she will get a beautiful FanStream Sports hat. She wanted a blue one, so this one's red, but this is kind of what you get for free. It's a nice hat, nice Velcro back on it. It's a Richardson hat, if you guys know anything about hats. It's very quality. I don't know why I'm not wearing it. It's too early in the morning. But Jamie's submission, I've already screwed it up. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. There you go. Sophisticated. Certainly hope we made your morning a little bit there, boys and girls, with the dad joke of the day. Jamie gets a hat, brought to you by ZipRecruiter. More on them later. But look, after the Cowboys win on Christmas, it's time for the team to lose in Week 18. I don't mean quit. I don't mean embarrass yourselves. I don't mean play at half speed. I mean organically. And this has to do with the front office. But before we get to that full bore, we talked about Brian Flores potentially being on the Cowboys short list for defensive coordinator next year if they decide to replace, when they decide to replace Matt Eberflus for 2026. And we outlined the reasons why that could work, and we outlined the reasons why it's a thing, why it's being discussed. Well, on yesterday, at a press conference for the Vikings up north, he addressed this. And here's what Brian Flores had to say. Quote, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about my personal situation and next year. Look, as I've said many times, I love my time here in Minnesota. My family loves it. The state of Minnesota has been tremendous to me. Coach Kevin O'Connell mentioned there's been great dialogue, and there has. And now we'll just kind of let the club and my representation handle the rest. And so that's kind of where I'm at on that. I don't, as you guys know, don't like talking about myself. I think our players are doing a lot of great things on the field. I don't want to take away from them in any way. I think, if anything, they deserve all of the recognition. I certainly don't play, as you guys know, and he continued. Like I just said, I love Minnesota. I don't know if he did it with an accent or not. I love this team. I love working for and with Kevin O'Connell. You know, he's been fantastic to me. I think the Wilfs are some of the best owners in the league. I love these players, the coaching staff, and like I said, this place has shown me a lot of love, and I show it right back. And so I don't know how much more there is to it. I mean, if everything lines up and it fits, you know, from a football standpoint, it fits. And I think it's just called a business part of this. The football all lines up, and we'll just see where it all goes. So I don't know about you guys. That just doesn't sound like he's real confident that he's coming back to Minnesota. Don't you know? You got to do your mouth when you do that. Don't you know? It just doesn't sound real. Now, you know, that doesn't have anything to do with he comes to Dallas or not, but it just means, to me, he's just not sure. So, I don't know. You guys may be reading that differently. If you are, love to hear from you. Let me know. But one surefire way we could push towards that narrative of replacing Matt Eberflus is with a loss in Week 18. And again, I'm not talking about tanking. We don't say the T word, but an organic pulling of the reins back, almost from like a front office coaching perspective. And so what we'll break down here is why a win in Week 18 is pretty much worthless. Why a Week 18 loss could be worth a second-round pick. How you manage this game without looking like clowns and looking like you're the T wording right there. And how to keep your stars off the injury report for 2026. So let's ride with all of it. And as I have stated, I am not a fan of the T word, and I don't think it's a thing in professional sports. I absolutely do not think it's a thing. The players don't. Sometimes in certain sports and certain teams, it looks like they quit. But these guys are pros, and they don't like to lose. I don't care what the situation is. They don't like to lose. So what if you could either win Week 18 or you could jump up 5 to 6 spots in the draft? And doing it organically, if that makes sense. Because really in Week 18, what are the Cowboys playing for? Again, it's meaningless in the standings. There's no playoff spot at risk. There's no division title in play. We're building momentum for the future in the last game of the season. You can finish 8-1. Cool. We're going to hang a banner up that says almost 500. I don't know. But what can you gain from a loss or from pulling the reins back a little bit? You can gain draft position. You can keep your health. And you might be able to get a head start on 2026 from a personnel standpoint. As I talked about some last week, evaluate some guys. And also, this game is on the road in New Jersey, on a field that feels like it's made out of rubber bands. And regret. That field's been horrible to everyone that's played on it. And so if there's ever a time that you need to protect your roster and your stars, you can start this weekend. And again, I'm not talking about not trying hard. I'm not talking about quitting. Not talking about the T word, but you've got other players besides some of the starters that need to be evaluated. You got guys that are going to be fighting for jobs in the offseason. You got guys that are incentivized to go play their best, but they may not be as good as the first guy up. So, you can't tell a guy to play at 75% speed. That's just how people get hurt. So that's not what I'm talking about. But the coaching staff can certainly control this. They can make grown-up decisions. This isn't on the players. You can be aggressive, but you can be cautious at the same time. And the draft math here is why all of this matters, because it's real. So right now, Dallas is sitting somewhere in the mid-first round, depending on how results from everybody shake out. If you win Week 18, you can slide all the way down to 17 or 18, which is kind of that's draft purgatory. You didn't make the playoffs, but you're kind of drafting like you did. But if you lose in Week 18, you can potentially climb up to 12. And the difference between a number 12 overall pick and a number 18 overall pick could be massive. It's the difference between a guy who might be the best at his position and a guy that you kind of talk yourself into because your favorite couple of players are already gone. And the draft value charts, if you talk to people way smarter than me at this, they will tell you that a number 18 overall pick in the first round is roughly equal to a second round pick in most cases. Obviously, there are exceptions. So would you be willing to take a win in Week 18 to finish 8-1 and hang your imaginary almost 500 banner and fall to around 18? Or maybe throw out some guys that aren't starters that you need to evaluate anyway. Maybe protect Dak and see what you've got with some of these guys, and you probably lose. And even if you win, yes, you might still fall in the draft, but at least you'll have some tape on some of these guys, and you can make better decisions on some of these guys in the offseason. And it's like I said, the difference between 12 and 18 could be massive. And what do the Cowboys need in this draft? Let's be honest. Defense. And defense. And more defense. Linebacker, corner, safety, just pick one. And if Dallas wants elite difference makers, this is how you give yourself a better shot. You don't need to trade for it. You just need to not win a meaningless game without T-wording. Kind of where we're at with all of this right now. The Cowboys are going to have some decisions to make in 2026. You could have some decisions to make in 2026. If you've got goals for 2026, your New Year's resolutions, and if they see you past January 8th, which is when most people break their New Year's resolutions, is from what I hear. I don't even make it that far, to be honest with you. You may need help. Like if you want to eat healthier, you go get yourself a dietitian. You want to get your body in better shape, go find a workout partner or a personal trainer. So it's hard to find people that are really good at what they do to surround yourself with. Just ask the Cowboys. And it's just like if you're hiring, how can you find the best people for all the different roles on your team? Well, now it's easy. It's ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. You'll see it right there on the screen if you're watching the YouTube video. ZipRecruiter's matching technology works fast to find top talent so you don't waste time or money. That's all valuable in 2026. And you can find out right away how many job seekers in your area are qualified for the role you are seeking. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can instantly unlock top candidates contact info. So it's no wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Let ZipRecruiter help you find the best people for all your roles. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get quality candidates within the first day. Go see for yourself. ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. So how do you go about, if you're the Cowboys, doing this? How do you T-word without T-wording? T-word is tank, by the way, in case you guys are being gross to yourselves in your heads. How do you pull this off without embarrassing the franchise? It's easy. You run it just like a normal week. Normal prep, normal tone, normal we're here to win messaging. And then you manage the game smartly. You start with the starters. Let them look normal for a quarter. Then you pull some of the key guys for caution, tightness, a twitch in the ankle, a thigh bruise, whatever. And then you start rotating the backups, the guys that you need to evaluate, a little bit at a time. And you keep the game moving on. You get the game over, and then you get the hell out of there. Once the starting quarterback is out, you can pretty much go for broke with everybody else. Because you can't have your quarterback in there with a patchwork offensive line, although we've seen a lot of that this year. So if Dak is playing, you need all of the starters to help him out. Once Dak comes out, then you throw all the subs in. And so who needs snap management this week? We've already got some guys that are bruised. Got some guys that are banged up. So week 18 is the time to be cautious with him. Malik Hooker's got a toe. Need to limit his snaps. Overshown had a concussion recently. You don't play games with that. Quinnen Williams got a neck. Shut him down early. Kenny Clark's dealing with an elbow. There's no need to overload him. Jadeveon Clowney, well, he's just old. So reduce his exposure. On the offensive side of the ball, Tyler Smith has a knee. Need to protect his future. CeeDee Lamb, ankle. No reason to push it. Javonte Williams, his shoulder. Keep his workload light. Jake Ferguson, calf. Calves are tricky. Just ask Dak. You don't want to tempt fate. So again, let all these guys start if you have to, but there's no reason they should see the normal amount of snaps that they would see in a mid-regular season meaningful game. And then the safest approach to all of this for everybody is to just run the damn ball. Shorten the game, keep the clock running, limit the hits on your quarterback. Just run the damn ball. Get everybody out of there healthy. You improve your draft position. Look, it's week 18. It's meaningless football. It's going to be boring. All right? I hate to be the one to break it to you in case you didn't know. This is going to be boring either way. It's the last game of the season. It's survival mode. So what do you think? Do you hate my take? I hate my take. I really do, because I hate this stuff. I hate that this is part of the game. But it is. Would you rather draft at 12 or draft at 18? And then we're going to start talking about who the Cowboys could target in that 12 to 18 range. So I'm sure you have some ideas. We will talk about all of it. We'll start on New Year's Day. All the college football going on. Who's your college team? Are they in it? Are they out? I'm sorry if you're a Longhorns fan. I'm sorry if you're like me and you're an Aggies fan. Hate to see all of it. I will be at the Cotton Bowl, but we will still bring you a show New Year's Day and January 2nd. Talk more Dallas Cowboys, because that's what we do around here. I'm IndyCarTim. This is the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz podcast, live each weekday morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, right here on FanStream Sports. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Keep hoping for the not T word. Till tomorrow, boys and girls. We'll see you.